The absolute worst part of reloading, in my opinion, is case prep. Anything to make this step faster and keep the process consistent is a winner, and this tool from Frankfurt Arsenal is no exception. If you're at all skeptical on how good this might actually work, I encourage you to start looking at the reviews. On Midway USA, our channel sponsor, this has an average of 4.7 stars with more than 330 reviews. And frankly, how good this really works surprised me. The folks at Frankfurt Arsenal did send this unit to me for review, but no one besides me has had any input on today's video. The Case Trim and Prep Center has 4 different stations to work from. The trimming station indexes off the case shoulder of the brass. Frankfurt Arsenal claims compatibility with cartridges from 17 Remington to 460 Weatherby through the use of various collets that come with the unit. Do keep in mind that any variance in your shoulder bump process is going to show up in the overall trim length of your cases. Also, this tool isn't going to work for those of you that are looking to trim straight wall cases. It's got to have a shoulder. There is a little bit of time needed to change from one caliber to the next, but after this is done, you can really get some cases trimmed pretty quick. The cutter on this worked just fine for me. I never heard the motor bog, and being able to touch the brass just one time and get all the operations done is a big plus in my book. There are some other tools that can do something similar, but you're either going to be limiting yourself to one caliber or spending a whole lot more than this unit costs. Adjusting the depth of this cutter isn't difficult, but it does have reverse threads, which throws me off occasionally. It is clearly labeled, and I can't fault the unit, but I have decades of muscle memory at this point that are hard for me to overcome. But it can be done, and once it's adjusted, you lock it down and go to town. I'm sure there's a reference in the manual, but for whatever caliber you're looking to load, there's a sticker on here that's going to help you figure it out. All the collets and inserts can be stored here on the top for whenever you need to switch to your next caliber. If you're having difficulty setting up your cutter head, look at the directions. It took me a little bit of figuring out to make sure I got the inserts selected correctly, but once I put them in there, I centered it with one of my cases, and after I got it adjusted, it's worked perfect for me so far. The screw adjuster is tensioned here by an O-ring. That seemed to be one of the things people had concerns with. After I had these adjusted, I had the O-ring sit back, started down the threads, and then pulled the O-ring back into our adapter, and that's provided the proper tension. Super easy to get on and off, and you don't have to fight with trying to get that on. You can adjust your knob here to take the slop out, and it should cut relatively straight. At least I've had good luck with it so far. Some cases like 300 Blackout can be a little bit difficult as they don't have a very big case shoulder and they're a little shorter. You might want some gloves just so you have something to hold on to it a little bit better. But as far as 223, it's worked just fine. That's what I've done the most of so far. The other 3 stations on here are for case prep tools that have accessories with 832 threads, which is most reloading tools. However, this does come with the VLD chamfering tool, an outside chamfering tool, as well as both large and small primer pocket uniformers. The built-in storage box keeps everything all in there, including every accessory that comes with it. Hopefully this will keep everything from becoming lost. To be as fair to the unit as possible, the most common negative review seems to be about the cutter, and this really isn't very many complaints at all anyway. The one on my unit seems to be fine and perfectly capable of cutting all the cases I've tried to use it with so far. If this is a concern for you, people do mention replacing it with the RCBS carbide cutter, so it seems it should be compatible with standard cutting heads, if you're concerned with this one wearing out, or if you're looking for a carbide head replacement. Overall, I don't think this has any true competitors at the price point or functionality level that it provides. The quality of the cut it produces during trimming, chamfering, and deburring is going to be more than acceptable for a lot of folks. Once you've sped up your case preparation, another thing to think about is an automatic powder trickler, and you can check those out right here. I'll see you in that video, and until then, stay safe in small groups.